I heard your question. You was talking about like the different the letters. What was it again?
AH at the end of a name, or inside of a name, like spirit, like the prophets. A lot of them AH in their name, like in their name. So I want to know what that represented back then.
Okay, well, that's something that we don't know that right now, but I'll say this. The main objective, get Ecclesiastes 12 and 13. Get that real quick. Because you gotta realize, it's a lot of things that isn't gonna be shown to us right now. But we have to master the basic things. This is what the Bible says, that this is our purpose to be on this earth. Read.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 12, verse 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep His commandments.
That's the only thing we have to worry about right now. Like all the deep stuff, the parables, understanding, that's gonna come when Christ returns. But right now, our duty is to keep the commandments, because why? We're in this condition that we're in because we haven't kept the commandments. Think about it. We have to catch a bus every day. We have to work a 9 to 5. We live in poverty-stricken communities. We fill that up. But we didn't do what was commanded of us, which is fear God and keep the commandments. So, let me ask you something. You from here?
I'm New York.
What part?
That's Jamaica, Queens.
Okay, that's what's up, that's what's up. So, in Jamaica, Queens, what nation primarily fills up those ghetto urban areas?
Muslims.
Huh?
Muslims?
No, I'm just saying, like, us in general, the ghetto, the slums. What
Black
nation?
people.
Exactly. So, and what goes on in those areas?
Crime.
Hey, what's going on, family? How y'all doing? We showing our people who y'all according to the Bible. Say it again.
Crime.
Crime, right? Why do you think that happens?
Environment, circumstances.
So you think we were just born, like we were just born to do that?
We wasn't born to do that, but that's what it's come to.
Right. And what do we do for it to come to that?
It's not following the commandments.
Right. And let's touch on something. Go back to go to Deuteronomy. Deuteronomy 28. We'll start from there. Because a lot of people, they see the stuff that's going on in our communities, but they don't know why it's going on. They just think that as soon as they came out the womb, they was born to do evil. You know, they were born to be a drug dealer. They were born to sleep with multiple women. Vice versa, women jump from rod to rod. But now we weren't made to do that. But this is why all this stuff is happening.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So, quick history lesson. Who led the children of Israel out of Egypt?
Yeah, I read about it.
So, it was Moses. Moses led the children of Israel out of Egypt. And in the wilderness, there were laws, statutes, and commandments that were given to us to keep. And we had a choice to keep them or not keep them. And it says right here in the verse that if we didn't keep the commandments, it says that curses what?
Shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
It says that curses are going to come upon us and overtake us. So, I asked you what goes on in the ghettos and slums today, right? You said it's a bunch of crime, right? You said it's a bunch of crime, right? So we're gonna find out if they can keep the commandments or not. Hey sis, how you doing? What's your name? Okay, okay. We out here showing our people who they are according to the Bible. You got any questions? Hey, feel free, all right? But jump to verse 16.
Verse 16, cursed shalt thou be in the city.
So, cursed shalt thou be in the city. So you was talking about Jamaica, Queens, right? And you said in that area, you said it's a bunch of crime. It's like you got a bunch of robbing, stealing, gangs, right? They fighting over blocks, colors, all these different things, shooting each other. And we don't even realize we're the same people. That's a curse. Because what other nation of people goes through that? Let me ask you a question. In ghetto and urban areas, what's the main nation of people you see shooting at each other, stealing from each other? Let's be honest. Right. Does any other nation have to go through that? Do you see so-called Asian, Chinese beefing over blocks and stuff? What about you, my brother? You see so-called East Indians beefing over blocks, shooting at each other, selling drugs? No, it's only us. But that shows that we're the people of the book. Right. Continue reading.
And cursed shalt thou be in the field.
So not only are we going to be cursed in the city, we will also cursed in the field. Hey family, let me ask y'all a question real quick. What nation of people was cursed in the field? What nation of people were cursed? Hey, family right there. My brother with the burgundy shirt on. What nation of people were cursed in the field? Who was the nation of people that was picking cotton, indigo, all these different things? It was us, right? That shows we are the people of the book. The Bible is a true book. We were the ones cursed in the city and cursed in the field. Still cursed to this day because there's still crime going on everywhere. Whether you in New York, you in LA, Detroit, South Carolina, Atlanta, it's everywhere. But why is that happening? Because we disobeyed the laws of God. Let's get some more curses to see who are these people that this Bible is talking about. Get verse 28.
Verse 28. The Lord shall smite thee with madness and blindness and astonishment of heart.
So it says the Lord is going to smite us with madness and blindness. What does that mean? Think about it. To this day, you can ask the average person, are we in captivity today? Are we the ones that are on the bottom?
Ask them.
Let me ask you something. Are we on the bottom today? We are? Are we on the bottom?
I feel like we're still in captivity.
Huh?
I feel like we're still in captivity.
We are.
Prison, yeah. All of it.
But you know what's so funny though? A lot of people don't think that. They're comfortable where we at. They think that it's cool to work a 9 to 5 when we were never made to work. They think that it's living when you live a certain amount of years and you get sick and die. They think that's life. That was never life. People are comfortable with that. That's madness. Verse 29.
And thou shalt grope at noonday as the blind gropeth in darkness.
So now, it says, read that part again.
Hey, read that again. 28.
The Lord, verse 28. The Lord shall smite thee with madness and blindness and astonishment of heart.
You know what that means to be smitten with madness, blindness? That means us walking around. What's your nationality? African American. What's your nationality?
I'm mixed.
Mixed. What's your father?
My father's white. My mother's black.
Your father's white. Your mother's black. What's your nationality?
Black.
Black. All right. So we got African American. You got so-called Caucasian, because you are what your father is, and you got black. Now, we're reading about the Israelites. All right. Our people to be smitten with madness and blindness. Calling yourself African American, guess what? Those are two white men. Leo Scipio Africanus and America Vespucci. Read out. Came over here and conquered or colonized America. And now we call ourselves after that. Is there a name called Africa, land called African American? What about a land, brother right here with the Met shirt? Right here. You pay attention? Is there a landmass called the land of black? So read that verse again.
The Lord shall smite thee with madness and blindness and astonishment of heart.
So madness and blindness and astonishment of heart. Our people have no idea who they are. Bring it out. Isaiah chapter 1 verse 3. Our people have no idea. That's exactly why Christ said he came back for the lost tribes of Israel. That's right. Why are you lost? Because you have no idea who you are. What happened in slavery, guess what? You lost your identity, you lost your culture. You didn't just lose it like you misplaced it. That thing was taken away from you. Bring it out. And another culture was added on to you, was given to you. The culture of how your sister, how your women dress today, the culture of how you dress today, the culture of how you wear your beard, the things that you celebrate, your customs. You understand that? Because Thanksgiving is a celebration, believe it or not. Some people may not know, but Thanksgiving is a celebration of mass murder. Bring it out. And our people celebrate that thing like it's okay. You know what I'm saying? Thanksgiving coming on. What you eating? Christmas as well. Christmas, you know what I mean? That's not a God-given holiday. That's a pagan holiday. So to be smitten with madness, remember, he said these curses will fall on the Israelites. One of the curses said that you will be astonished, blindness of heart and all of that, meaning you completely forgotten who you are. Read that and then give me Jeremiah 17:4.
Isaiah chapter 1 verse 3. The ox knoweth his owner.
Hey, how y'all sisters doing? We try to teach our people who they are according to the Bible, showing them that they're the Israelites according to the Bible, okay?
And the ass his master's crib. Verse 3, the ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master's crib.
So the Most High is comparing the children of Israel. The Most High is comparing the children of Israel to two stubborn animals. An ass and a what?
An ox.
And an ox. Read it again.
The ox knoweth his owner.
So the ox know of his owner. But our people, we have no idea who our owner is. We don't know that Christ looked like us, according to the Bible. All right, because you can't find this nowhere in the churches. All right, read it again.
The ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master's crib.
Our people also don't know where they come from. Again, I asked two so-called black men, where do they come from? Or what's their nationality? You gave me two separate answers, and they're not even land masses. He said black, he said African American. Read that last part again.
And the ass his master's crib.
So an ass, a jacket, a donkey knows where he comes from. But the children of Israel, they have no idea.
Bring it on!
Because our culture, who we truly are, has been taken away from us during slavery.
That's right.
But Israel doth not know.
But you Israelites, you blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, you do not know who you are. And what?
My people doth not consider.
And they don't even consider. They don't even consider who they are. They have completely accepted the destruction of their culture, the destruction of their heritage. They completely accept. We have completely accepted it. We accepted everything about this land. Our captivity. Give me Jeremiah chapter 17, verse 4.
Jeremiah chapter 17, verse 4. And thou, even thyself, shalt discontinue from thine heritage.
What does it mean to discontinue from something?
Thank you.
To cut off.
All right, y'all have a good, check out the flyer. All right, have a good one. To do what?
To be cut off.
To be cut off. You hear? That's an excellent answer. Read it again.
And thou, even thyself, shalt discontinue from thine heritage.
The blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians have been discontinued or cut off from their heritage. I'll give you an example. How many of y'all seen Roots? Okay, what happened to Kunta in the movie Roots? At one point. It was one point. Matter of fact, something else that you may have seen, what's his name? Dave Chappelle. He did a comedy skit about it. You ever see Dave Chappelle show? You ever seen that? Oh man. What about you?
Somebody, Clayton Bigsby.
Clayton, no, not Clayton Bigsby. Let me go back to Roots. You seen Roots before? What about you? You seen Roots before? What happened with Kunta and his name?
They took it away from him.
You saying he changed it?
No, they forced it.
They forced it, right? How'd they do it? They tied him up and kept what? They kept beating him until what? Until he formed to the name that they wanted him to be called by.
Right.
That's the same thing that happened to us in our mentality. All right, we have laws, statutes, and commandments in this Bible, but guess what? We have completely fell away from them. Why? Read it again.
And thou, even thyself, shalt discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee, and I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in the land which thou knowest not.
So now you're serving, because our disobedience, what the also was bringing out earlier, because of our disobedience, now you're serving your enemies in a land that you never even knew. All right, that's called slavery. That's called, look, here's some examples. A yoke of iron on your neck. This is slavery. Being sold on auction blocks. This is what happened to us. This is what happened to the Israelites. This is our history. This is our culture. These are things that happened to us. These are the things that the Most High said will happen to us for our disobedience. All right, go back to Deuteronomy. Go back to Deuteronomy 15.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So what does that verse mean right there? Let me ask you, what does that verse mean? Was you listening?
I was
Yours-
reading. I'm sorry.
All right, it's all right. What that verse mean? What's that verse mean? All right, we're gonna read it again for y'all. I need y'all to pay attention to what's going on, what's being brought out. Mind you, what we're trying to show y'all is the true nationality of so-called black men and women, Hispanic men and women, and Native American men and women. All right? Because again, y'all just proved to us that the names that y'all going by today, those are, can you find those names in the Bible? Can you find African American? Can you find black in the Bible as a nationality? No, you can't. So what we're trying to show you is who you truly are. So that's why it's very important that y'all listen up. All right? Let's go.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken,
Which means if you do not listen to God and what he's bringing out, go ahead.
unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So all these curses, now what does that mean? I just want to make sure y'all listening. What we just read, what does that mean?
Curses.
All right, curses going to fall on us. Why?
Because we're not following the commandments.
There you go. Y'all got it? Y'all understand? All praises. So also these curses is going to be an identifying mark to realize who you are, because again, we established that we've been discontinued from our heritage. We're discontinued from something. All right. You grow up in a certain custom, right? You're gonna do what when you have kids? Yeah, right. They're gonna follow you, and you're gonna teach them the same things, and so forth and so on. So as that's going on, you forget your true culture, and you start to take on the customs that you were forced to learn. You understand? All right. So that's why we're trying to. So that's why the Most High, he left an identifying mark that we can go into the book and we can read it and be like, yo, that fit my people, that fit me. So this thing, because it says it shall come to pass, meaning a future prophecy. All right, so let's see if these, give me verse 46.
Verse 46, and they shall be upon thee.
The they are the curses. The they should be what?
Upon thee for a sign and for a wonder.
What does a sign do?
It shows you something.
It shows you something. Exactly. You want it today. You agree with him? You agree with him? Okay, a sign. The curse is going to be upon a certain group of people for what? For a sign?
And for a wonder. And upon thy seed forever.
Thy seed is your children. All right? Just like, you know, if you got a son next to you, be like, that's my seed. You know what I mean? That's your children. So it said the curse is going to be upon your seed forever. So you're going to be able to look at the conditions of your people and equate them with this. Let's get verse 48.
Verse 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee.
Therefore shall you serve your enemies, not your friends, not your buddies, not your pals, not your compadres, none of that. You're going to serve your enemies. Are we not serving our enemies right now? How are we serving them? We work at all of these establishments. I'm not saying not to have a job, nothing like that. But what I'm saying is our people are the ones that built this kingdom. Off our backs.
Right.
The blood, sweat, and tears come off our people. We built the White House. When this hotel was being built, who was building that? So-called Mexicans, which is part of the 12 tribes of Israel. Someone, Issachar, so-called Mexicans. That's our people. All right? So read that part again.
Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee.
So the Lord sent them against you for what? For, like you said earlier, our disobedience, our rebelliousness against God's laws. This is a chastisement. This is a punishment for not listening to his laws. But guess what? There was a flip side. We're going to get to it in a second, but there was a flip side. If we was to keep his commandments, guess what? The world was made for you. The world was made for you. The world was made for us to rule it. But because we refuse to keep God's laws, now he's like, I'm gonna put the other nations above you.
That's right.
You gonna be the tail, they gonna be the head. Hey, you gotta keep these laws, statutes, and commandments.
Yes, sir.
We destined to get it back, but there's something that's required of you. Okay, read on.
Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee, in hunger, and in thirst, and in nakedness, and in want of all things, and he
Hold on. And he said, you're going to serve your enemies in the want of all things. Let's just see. Who do you got to go to for education?
School.
Right. But who makes up these curriculums? Who mostly owns these buildings? What nationality of people is that?
White people.
She right. That so-called white man. It's not your people. It's not your people. What about if you want religion? If you want to learn religion and you want to be a pastor or a reverend or something, where do you got to go to learn their, what do you call it? Theology.
Cemetery.
Right. So who do you got to go to?
Go to them.
You got to go to them. My point is, I'm reading, the Bible says you're going to have to go to them in the want of all things.
That's right.
So if you want to leave the country, you want to go to another country, what do you have to get first? You have to get a passport. Who do you got to go to?
White people. Yep.
Oh my goodness. I want y'all to equate, this is real life what we're talking about.
Right.
All right, read it again. Yeah, and I just, if you want to get married, you got to go to them. If you want to get a business, you got to go to them. If you want a driver's license, you got to go to them. It don't matter what it is, you have to go to them. Showing you, proving to you that they are above you. That's right. All right, they are the head and you are the tail.
Bring it out.
Read that verse 43. Bring it out. Verse 43. Then we go.
Verse 43. The stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high.
We're seeing that right now. The stranger is above. The stranger means the people that's outside of the children of Israel.
Bring it up.
They are above you very high right now.
And thou shalt come down very low.
And you should come down very low. You go into any of these so-called black communities, Hispanic communities, Native Indian communities, you see the conditions of our people.
Right.
Our buildings, our houses are boarded up. There's drugs all in our community. There's child molestation, rape, all of these things. And I'm not saying they don't go in other places, but in our community, they running rampant.
Right.
They running hell.
Right.
And our people think that that's their culture now.
Bruno.
They think the music videos that Cardi B and China Doll and all of them putting out, they think that's their culture.
Right.
Gucci Man, this, that, they think that thing is okay. Ain't nothing okay with that type of music.
Right.
Because you're destroying your people.
Right.
And they don't even realize that. All they want is that guap. They want that money. That's all they care about.
Right.
They don't care about the effects that they're putting on the children.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? And that's how our people is destroyed. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to bring our people back to their true culture.
That's right.
To realize that you are royalty. You're supposed to be the gods on this earth.
That's right.
You're supposed to be the true rulers on this earth. But because of your disobedience, guess where we at? Read that again.
The stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low. He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him.
So you want to get a loan, you want to buy a house, you want to start a business, you want a loan. Who you got to go to? You got to go to your enemy. That's who you got to go to.
Right.
That's what the scripture's saying.
He shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail.
And that's the point I was trying to make. He should be the head, and thou shalt be the tail. But guess what? I don't know where, I guess he left. But the other brother said the roles is going to reverse. But you have to start to keep the law, statutes, and commandments.
Right.
Go to Deuteronomy 28:1. Bring it out.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 1.
Bring it out.
And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently.
So this is the other side of that coin. All right? Before it said if you don't listen, all these curses are going to fall on you. Right now he's saying if you do listen, this is what shall befall the children of Israel.
Unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
What's that mean right there?
Sit above all nations.
What's that mean? You don't know what that means?
It's showing up. So, I don't know.
That's the point that I'm trying to make. Our people have been so long in these conditions that we don't even know what it means to be above high, above the other nations.
Right.
What does that mean?
I have a comment. I don't know if it means that.
Go ahead, give me what you got.
My comment would be people that I feel like black people, they need to realize who they are. They need to realize like, okay, we always say the white man is who we have to go to. But you need to start realizing where, I'm the shit. Like, Like,
Hey, I agree with you. I agree with you.
Really starting to feel yourself.
Hey, guess what? The Bible agrees with you too. Let's get Deuteronomy 7:6. Bring it out.
Bring it out!
Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 6.
Bring it out!
For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God.
The thou is you, the Israelites. He said thou is a holy people unto the Lord thy God. When you read in Leviticus chapter 20, verse 26, holy just means to be separate. He says that he severed you from the other nations.
Right.
So we was never supposed to learn their customs, take on their wives, marry them, this, that, and this. We were supposed to never be integrated with them at all.
Bring it out!
The Most High God said he separated you from them. Read on.
The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself.
What she say? She said black people should look at themselves as this SH. You know what I mean? Here again. This is what God said. God said you are the SH.
The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself. Above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
So she was absolutely correct. Our people need to get their self-esteem back.
Yes, sir!
We have completely lost that thing.
Yeah, that's right.
Back in the 50s and the 60s and the 40s, they'd come up to you, looking at you, calling you boy, you looking down at the ground all docile and soft. Now, guess what? Your women treating you like that.
Bring it out!
Now your women treating you like that. They in your face, they chest bumping you, they running the house, they wearing pants in the house. You have no control over what the kids do. You have no control over how your money's being spent. You have no control over your household at all.
Yes, sir!
The black man has become soft,
Right.
weak, and effeminate.
Bring it out!
It is high time that he wake up out of that thing and realize who he is.
Right.
Realize that he is the SH. That's what we out here trying to teach our people.
We used to scream black power while heroin was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission, minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold, from Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are our men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.